This video is going to be about complex numbers. Now, if you remember from earlier this semester, maybe it was last semester, we talked about complex numbers, okay? And we had complex numbers whenever we had a negative value inside a square root, okay? Now, we're going to look at some of the basics and then look at some of the converting our square roots, okay? So, with complex numbers, we had the letter I, okay? And we said that I equals the square root of negative 1. All right? We also said that I to the 0 equals 1. I to the first equals I squared equals negative 1. And I cubed equals negative I. Okay, so we'll do a couple of problems that are looking at combining like terms and getting complex numbers with I, and then we'll look at rewriting radicals with negatives inside them to have the I. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at a couple of combining like terms situations. Okay, so we're getting some review of our combining like terms. Now, I plus 1 times the quantity 2i minus 3, we need to distribute. So I times 2i makes 2i squared. I times negative 3 is negative 3i. 1 times 2i is 2i. And 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. Okay, so we're going to combine our like terms here in the middle. And we have 2i squared minus I minus 3. And then we said earlier, I squared equals negative 1. So we have 2 times negative 1 minus I minus 3. Negative 2 minus I minus 3 gives us negative 5 minus I. Okay, because we combined our like terms, negative 2 and negative 3. All right, we'll go ahead and work through another one and then look at our radicals. Okay, so let's go ahead and we have I squared minus 2 times I plus 1. Okay, so we need to, once again, distribute. Okay, I squared times I is going to give us I to the third power. I squared times 1 is going to give us I squared. Negative 2 times I is negative 2i, and negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Now, do we have any like terms here? We don't, because all of our exponents are different, okay? Now, I cubed, we said we can rewrite that as negative I, so let's go ahead and do that. And we said that I squared we can rewrite as negative 1. Let's go ahead and do that. And then the rest is going to stay the same. Now we can combine our like terms. So our like terms are going to be I, negative 2i, and then we'll have negative 1 and negative 2. So when we combine like terms, we just group how many we have together. We do not add, subtract, we just group them together. So negative I and negative 2i gives us negative 3i. Negative 1 and negative 2 gives us negative 3. Okay? Notice I'm not adding 1 on both sides because there are no sides here since there is no equal sign. Okay? And then this is our simplified form. Okay? Now, the last thing with complex numbers is when we're looking at our square roots. So we said that I equals square root of negative 1, which tells us that if we have the square root of negative 10, that equals I square root 10. Okay? If we have a negative inside the square root, we will take out the negative and make it an I instead. So the square root of 19, or negative 19, will equal I square root 19. Okay? The square root of negative 25 will equal I square root 25. But since we know the square root of 25 is 5, it will equal 5i. Okay, now I have a few questions on simplifying complex numbers and also with radicals.